Hello, everybody. It is Friday, May 10th. My name is Rochelle. Thank you so much for clicking on this video for the weekend forecast for May 10th into the 11th, 2024. So before we get started today, the day that I'm filming this, it is actually World Lupus Day, May 10th. So I'm continuing to raise money through the month of May. I am almost at 20% of my goal of $500 to be raised to go toward the Lupus Foundation of America. So if you're willing and able to donate, I will have a link below. Please also share the link if you're unable to donate. So let's get into not necessarily the weather forecast, but a space weather forecast. So we do have for Friday night into Saturday, just in case you're watching this on Friday, a geomagnetic storm watch, a G4 geomagnetic storm watch. And what that means, it's the second highest level of geomagnetic storm, a severe storm is what it's called. And so we're going to be watching that Friday night into Saturday for some of the strongest activity. Let's take a look at the scale for geomagnetic storms. I mentioned that a G4 is the second highest. There's a G5 as well. So here are some of the possible impacts from different levels of geomagnetic storms. But one other value that we like to look at is something called the KP index. And for a G4 storm, that would range between an 8 and a 9. And they are calling for a KP index of over 8 on Saturday morning, early on Saturday morning. That highest forecast is an 8.3, and I'm recording this around midday on Friday, so that highest value is at a G4 over an 8. So that's a pretty good chance that areas farther south into maybe mid-latitudes, possibly some areas into the southern U.S. could see some aurora. Now, a better chance for you to see that would come with a camera with some specialized settings. So if you do have that, that'll give you a better opportunity to photograph and see the northern lights or the aurora in some of those farther south areas. May the clouds be ever in your favor when it comes to things like this. And I hope some of you who are watching this video will be able to see some of those aurora. I hope that everything does fall into place perfectly for folks to be able to see this. Let's go from space weather. Let's go to terrestrial weather. Let's start with the Weather Prediction Center. Let's go through their forecasted fronts and low pressure, high pressure systems to see what's going to be moving through the U.S. for this weekend. So here is early on Saturday. We do have a couple of zones that are going to be moving through areas like Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And then also we're watching into the southwestern part of the country as well for maybe some storm activity down there. The other area farther to the north and east is actually going to be traveling a little bit more as we head through the weekend. Eventually, we'll see that more southern system start to push eastward. We're looking at maybe some storms into Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, maybe for Sunday going into the day on Monday. And that also will, of course, bring some rain there as well. Here is a look at the day 2 outlook for severe weather. So that's going to be Saturday into early on Sunday morning. There is a small level 1 risk, maybe an isolated tornado possible or 2, as well as that risk for wind and hail. So our area for severe weather is still a level 1 risk for Sunday. However, it does include more populous areas as well as a larger geographic area as well. Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Austin, Amarillo, and Pasadena are all included in this. There are some areas of the Oklahoma Panhandle that are included in this level 1 risk as well. If you're unfamiliar with the 5-tier system of severe weather that comes out from the Storm Prediction Center, here it is. A level 1 risk means that a few isolated severe storms are possible. We could see some heavy rain, maybe some flash flooding from that southern system as it moves off to the east in areas like New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas for Saturday, small area of Oklahoma for Saturday. For Sunday, we have a level 2 risk for some zones of central and eastern Texas, as well as good portion of Louisiana and a small area of Alabama. And we have a level 1 risk for parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, sliver of southern Arkansas, as well as Alabama. How much rain are we talking? We could have some zones over 2 inches of rain between Friday and Monday morning. That's mainly going to be in areas maybe a few zones of Kansas, down through Texas, Louisiana, and other areas of the southeastern U.S. As we look toward the northeast, we also have a possibility of some rain in those areas as well. Some heavier rain in western New York into Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania too. So here's a look at some other outputs for rainfall. And the time frame we're looking at here is Saturday morning into Monday morning. Let's take a look at another one. This model, same time frame, also highlights some of those same parts of the country for the heaviest rain. You do see some rain into the northeast up toward the Great Lakes as well, but the heaviest of it, 1, maybe 2+ inches of rain, is going to be in the central and southern plains. And we're still watching for some snow in the Rockies as well. But the totals this weekend don't look like they'll be quite as high as the past couple of weekends. Really, we're looking at up to a foot, maybe 2 feet. And this model here, this has even less than the one that we just looked at. This is a 10-to-1 ratio. So what that means is if you have an inch of liquid, that would equate to 10 inches of snow. Now, the snow ratio may be a little bit different there, but this is a general baseline that we look at. Weekend temperatures. We're waking up on Saturday. We've got a few areas that'll wake up in the 20s, likely those higher elevations. And wake up temperatures through the southern U.S., we are looking at 50s, 60s, maybe some zones farther south in some of the desert zones, waking up in the 70s. Highs on Saturday, however, pretty warm through the central parts of the U.S. and back off to the west, too. We only have a couple of areas where we're talking about high temperatures in the 50s and 60s, looking toward the Rockies, and then back off to the northeast. Some areas of the mid-Atlantic topping out only in the 60s for your Saturday. Go to bed, wake up on Sunday. We could see some areas of the northern plains states heading into the upper Midwest, waking up just a pinch warmer versus what we see on Saturday morning, but very similar morning temperatures Sunday to what we'll have on Saturday. As we're rounding out the weekend, Sunday's high temperatures look pretty similar to the pattern that we had on Saturday too. A little cooler back to the north and east, warm through good chunk actually of the eastern half of the U.S. outside of the northeast, and then looking back off to the west, it's warm out there too, maybe some 90s for your Sunday. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm continuing to raise money for Lupus Awareness Month for the Lupus Foundation of America. I will have that link in the description box below. Please donate if you are able, and if you're not able to monetarily donate, please share the link with your family, your friends, and your network online. That is it for this weekend forecast for the second weekend of May 2024. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot, as well as leaving comments. Even if you just leave an emoji comment, that will help my video reach other people. It helps with engagement and all of those types of things. But overall, thank you so much for watching, taking time out of your day to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. If you're in the line of some of those stronger storms or flash flooding, even if it's going to be pretty hot, make sure you're taking the right precautions, staying safe, and enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next time. And again, thank you so much for watching.